Folnim's Boast by Charlie Mallard. Folnim arrived in the town of Lenner in the middle of the day, his ringed gambeson dusty and worn. At his right hip dangled a sword that clanked and clattered against his leg, and on his back rested a simple pack, just a bit emptier than half full. Hair the darkest black, and a face that could have been made of stone. Many hid from his sight without knowing why. Soon the man arrived in the town square where a young knight sat, proud and resplendent in armor of shining steel, a handsome face framed by handsome hair, a plumed helm resting on the ground. The knight talked to a lady, eyes all alight, with tales of valor and perilous plights. Folnim's eyes stopped on the knight, a half-understood urge tickling at his bones. He drew closer, a twisted smile on his face. The knight finally looked up, and the man stopped, speaking as he drew his sword. "In my right hand I hold death. My steel is sharp and hungers for blood. Only death himself can stop me." The young knight laughed as he drew his sword. Then he never laughed again. In the great city of Ven Irios, Folnim walked, feet taking him wherever he pleased. In a courtyard, a dueling ring, the ground packed sand, there stood an old man, bald of head and face, wrinkles down his eyes, skin splotchy and worn. Power danced between his fingers, blades of fire and ice cut the air. His challengers fell one by one. Folnim approached the mage, the urge burning his blood. Pushing aside those waiting, he entered the ring. He drew his sword as he spoke. "In my right hand I hold death. My steel is sharp and yearns for blood. Only death himself can stop me." The old man sneered down at Folnim. Then the little time he had left fell away. Amongst the blighted trees of the great reachwood forest, Folnim walked, flowers and grass and roots crushed beneath his feet. A lilting melody drew him forward, a dryad's song. In a clearing she sang with sunbeams falling around her, skin of dark wood and hair of verdant leaves, the beauty of nature given form. Her sorrowful voice filled the air, soft as a knife. Folnim stepped forward, the urge, that old friend, an unstoppable tide. His sword already in hand, he pointed it to her. "In my right hand I hold death. My steel is sharp and I yearn for blood. Only death himself can stop me." A new song began, its razor-sharp notes slicing the air, but soon it stopped forever. And one night Folnim had a dreamed of a dusty road, blood running alongside it in a river. He woke early that day. The road outside a shattered town was dusty, and blood trickled alongside it in a stream, and thus he walked. Many days later, he came upon a woman ahead of him, a long glaive hanging from her back. She walked as if she had not a concern in the world, strong and unbowed. He drew closer, that irresistible urge setting his blood alight. The woman looked back, hair shifting like cold sunlight, verdant green eyes filled with nothing, skin the color of oak, an almost sharp face. In that glance he felt dismissal. Folnim drew his sword and spoke. "In my right hand I hold death. My steel is sharp and I thirst for blood. Only death himself can stop me." The woman turned to face him, drawing forth her glaive of brown-gray wood and dull metal. "Oh, child," she said, voice full of pity, "I am death." And Folnim boasted no more.